Hey guys, welcome to my channel that is Nature's Run. I'm standing inside my house. The temperature outside is 40 degrees Celsius and it is very hot and humid. Believe me, I'm perspiring right now. But I did visit my grandparents' house this week and I saw this beautiful flowering plant there. It is called karantop in Marathi. I checked the English name for it on the internet and it came out to be trumpet vine or trumpet creeper. I got a branch or two. I got two branches of that plant, and the flowers were orangish red, trumpet shaped, and they had this beautiful soothing aroma. When I brushed past them, they were very beautiful. So I had to have them in my garden. The many of you think, why do we need flowering plants, flowers actually in our garden, in our vegetable garden? We can just plant vegetable plants because they also flower and then we could get some produce out of it. That is actually a misconception because these flowering plants are a very vital part of your vegetable garden because they help in attracting beneficial insects and bees and pollinators that will help pollinate your vegetable garden as well, so that you get multiple, like you get increased produce. After having so many flowers, I have mustard flowers, I have carnations, and then aboli. I have so many flowers and I love them. I also have my roses and my shoe flower and I'm very proud of them. um, so and I also have my mogra jasmine, and I can never forget it. It blooms in May and that is not the time for it to bloom. It usually blooms when the first rains show up. So I had to have this plant in my garden, and I have some healthy looking branches that I cut off from the plant, and as you can see there are various nodes on this branch. That is exactly what you want. There are some nodes over here because that is from where the new root system will start to develop. See, there are multiple nodes over here. I kept this in water for a week and you can see they are already starting to shoot roots, some healthy looking roots. See, it's not much, but that's quite some progress. What you have to do is take a bottle because these are very big and the two nodes are separated with a very large internode, very long internode. So you need a bottle like this. It's a big bottle and I can fit in a plant of a stem of this length inside, fill it with water and just put them inside. That is exactly what you need to do, and it's so simple. Keep it in the sun for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks and it will start to shoot roots. But one precaution that I want to mention is that choose the plants that don't have flowers on the top, or if they have flowers, just cut them off. Don't keep the flowers, or else the flowers will take all the energy and energy won't be used up in in forming roots. So cut those flower tops and you just want the leaves. Here I don't see any leaves, there aren't any leaves, but still it is healthy and it'll do great because I can see some green shoots buds down there, so I think it'll do well. It's been 3 weeks since we put these stems in water and let me show you the results. It is actually marvelous. Do you see these white spots everywhere on the stem? These are actually the roots that are going to be developed. These look healthy. There is no sign of decomposition or anything. So these look healthy, and there are also some new shoots over here, and also in this stem you can see these small buds growing everywhere and this big one, and the leaves look promising. They do, they really do. In actual mud, I have this container right here. It's quite big. I chose this because the length of the container is equal to the length of the stems that I have. And I also have this companion plant here. It's actually mustard plant. Now let me make this point very clear. I did not use any rooting hormone or any such substance for the plant to take root. I just used plain water, but many people have this misconception of adding sugar to the water, but that only increases the amount of bacteria that will develop in the water, and eventually your plants will decompose and they will die. And even if they survive, their chances then once they grow big, they'll have fungal or any such infection. So it's better not to add any sugar or any such substance to your water. This time the water is crystal clear, and believe me, I haven't changed this for 2 days. I keep changing it every other day, but see, the water is very clean. It's not dirty, or it doesn't give any foul smell, or no mosquitoes have bred in this, because one reason maybe because of this small this opening, and the other reason maybe because I haven't added anything to it. It's just plain water with natural minerals that are dissolved in it. But there are various substances available in the market which are chemicals, obviously, that actually help the plant to take root. But the thing is that every plant or every part of a plant has to have that survival instinct in it that will help them grow roots or grow shoots, buds in any condition. And because what's the use if you use chemicals to produce the roots, to grow the roots, and then when you transplant it into a container with soil, if it does not get enough fertilizer or enough nutrition, it will just die off. And then what's the use of doing all this process and then having no results? So it's better to use plain water for anything. I've even transplanted rosemary in the same way, and believe me, plain water just does miracles. You don't have to add anything to it. Now let's move on and pop this into the soil. Now this is the container in which I'm going to plant my stems. First, let's wet this container so that we don't have any problem while tilling the soil with a fork. That's it. And here I have my fork. Let's till it. Mustard plant does not have an extensive root system, so it will be easy for me to till the soil. Now I'll use this trowel to dig out the mud. I have to dig in very deep because the stems are very tall. I have loosened up the soil, and now let's talk about some fertilizing that we need to do. Here I have some vermicompost and some cow manure. But the one which is in darker shade is cow manure, and while the other one is vermicompost. Vermicompost is known for being light and also for its quick nutrient releasing ability. It also blends quickly with the soil. Cow manure, on the other hand, tends to take its time to blend with the soil before releasing nutrients. I will add in both in a mixed ratio of 2:1, so that initially, right after planting, the stems would get enough fertilizer to grow roots. Also, the soil that I'm using is no fancy soil. It's just a mixture of coco peat and normal garden soil in a ratio of 2:1. Coco peat tends to be lighter and has more water carrying capacity, while garden soil is stickier and adds mass to the container. So coco peat is a must-have for all container gardeners. I'll start to make a deep hole in the container. So the soil is already loosened up, but I need to make a deep hole because the stems are very long. This is the stem with a lot of roots that are developing. Looks healthy. I'll just pop this in the container and sprinkle some vermicompost on top on the sides of the stem because the roots are still underdeveloped and they need quick access of nutrients. So I'll be adding some vermicompost, not much, just a little bit. Sprinkle it out and mix it with the soil, and then cover the stem with soil. And then I also need to press it in because I don't want any air pockets to form. Okay, I'll just press it in. Now we'll come to the last part of this video, that is watering. Watering is a must for every flowering plant. Water actually helps the plant to flower, and during summer season it is essential that you water the plants twice every day. But if you are very busy, then I'll suggest you do it just once. I'll also add cow manure as a dressing. I'll just add a little bit to the upper layer of the soil, because when I water the container, the leachate that will be formed will be full of nutrients, and that will actually supplement my plants, supplement the stems, and help in developing good roots. Okay. Thus, we are completely ready with the stems popped in. Now let's add some water. Okay, and we are all good to go. There we have managed to successfully transplant these two stems without damaging the companion plant here. Now, these plants, karantop, actually needs a lot of sunlight, so place it in a area where there is minimum of 3 to 6 hours of sunlight. I will keep this in my window number 1. I hope you found this interesting and easy, and I do believe that anyone can transplant various stems with right knowledge and a little bit of patience. Thanks for watching, and nurture nature for a better future.